lot of things going on, a lot of transitions, and when life moves, when life happens, you got to go with the flow. But before we get started, I just want to say that it is 39 days left until this year is over. And some of y'all are stuck in the same old routine, the same stuff. Yo, I'll do it today, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week. You ain't doing it yet. And there's 39 days left in this year. Whatever it is that you said you was going to do, forget about the goals. It's about dreams now. What are your dreams? Because you're going to go hard for your dreams. So with that being said, listen, let's do it. Get it done. Whatever it is you're trying to do, hey, time waits for no one. You got 39 days. Do not go into this year, next year, the same person you was, the same couple you was, doing the same old thing. Come on, stop going in the same circle. So now that it's off my chest, we're going to talk about marriage again.
So you got off your chest? So you got everything off your
Hey,
chest?
go ahead.
But you're going in. I like that.
I mean, I ain't know. I
That's
felt
real.
that you was about to interrupt, so.
No, you good. You told me 39 days.
39 days left.
39 days.
We ain't got time to play no games.
The year ain't over yet.
It ain't over yet. You can still make it happen.
Dreams.
You know, dreams. Like I said,
Aspirations.
forget goals. It's about dreams now. Because you won't go hard for your dreams.
Absolutely.
Okay? All this attitudes, nastiness, and look, we ain't got time for all that, the drama. You got to focus on your dreams and get there. This pandemic hit, and it's a lot of things financially that happened to us. Great. Mentally, physically, spiritually, relationship-wise, we've become closer than we ever been. Embracing full-time entrepreneurship. I was on board with him in the beginning, but I wasn't on board 100%. And God had to speak to me and say, daughter, remember your prayers. Remember what you prayed for. And that's another thing. We as women, wives, whether you're trying to be a wife, you say, oh, I want to be a wife, I want to be married, but are you ready? Are you really ready? Are you ready?
Ready for what though? I mean, because people ready for the ceremony. They ready for the white dress. They ready for the flowers being thrown. They ready for the celebration of turning. Well, tell them what they need to be ready for though.
I wrote down some things. And the first thing I wrote down was the definition of commitment. The definition of commitment is an engagement or obligation that restricts freedom of action. Let me read that again. Commitment, an engagement or obligation that restricts freedom of action. You're committed to your job, you're committed to your TV shows, you're committed to your cars, but can you be committed to one person, committed to your marriage?
Yeah. Oh, big good one.
Hey, come on, don't do that.
We good. Yeah. They committed to football. They know all the stats.
Favorite team?
Favorite team. But they don't know their wife. They don't know their spouse. They married 10 years, 15 years. You don't know this person because it became a business transaction. Something that's good because you got kids together. Kids going away to college. So now that they're gone, you're stuck with this person, a stranger. Date your wife, get to know her. We got this time for COVID to get to know each other. Work on those dreams, those aspirations that you have for your marriage when you first said I do. Remember that. Get back to that moment.
And fellas, just a little bit of advice. When we were dating, he would observe me. When we was in a mall, going shopping and everything. If it was a shoe that I picked up, a bag, some clothes. Even though men, I know you don't like shopping, but we was dating, he would come and he would just see, oh, you like those? That's your style. He was taking notes. So he knew, okay, this is what she likes. This is what she likes to shop at. She likes this type shoe. She likes this type bag. Not that I'm materialistic, but we do have clothes and shoes. Let's be real with that. So you have to study your spouse.
And even as far as her maturity, going through the transition from 9 to 5 to entrepreneurship, the finances wasn't there. And it's still not there, but she didn't complain. She endured wearing the same clothes, wearing the same stuff, couldn't get her hair done, couldn't get her nails done, but she did it on her own. It wasn't how she wanted it to be, but she took that initiative. And that showed me that, hey, you really got something that you got to hold on to. Absolutely.
So another thing I have written down is vow. The definition for vow is solemnly promise to do a specified thing. Okay. Then I also wrote down marriage vows. And it says marriage vows are promises each partner in a couple makes together during a wedding ceremony to each other. So you have your traditional wedding vows, and I'm going to go over that. And then sometimes the couples make those vows to each other. And this is why it's important to get together before you say I do. To talk and go over the do's and the don'ts, what you expect, what you don't expect, what is a deal breaker and what isn't a deal breaker. How you going to connect finances and school and, you know, kids and buying properties or houses or where you foresee yourself going. And before I go further, the wedding vows is to have, to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death us do part, according to God's holy law. So that's what you usually say, whether you're in where you go to the justice of the peace, whether you're in a church, that is what you say under God's eyes. So I would say to y'all, really study this commitment vow. You know, can you really do this? You know, can you really commit yourself to that person? Are you ready to do this stuff? You know, don't just say yes or have a ceremony to shut her up.
So you had a baby.
Right. Because of what the family is saying or because of how you may feel or may look to some people. Who cares what people got to say? You understand what I'm saying? Are you really committed? Don't just, and some people have told me, oh, I just want to put on a dress. I just want to have a party. Well, throw yourself a party.
Right.
Say, you know what, I'm doing something different. I'm going to have a wedding style birthday party and do it big. But don't get into this wedding. Don't say these vows and it's all a lie and you don't mean it. And then now you're corrupting marriage. Because there's a lot of people out there that, oh, I don't believe in marriage, it's just a piece of paper. Well, honey, let me tell you something. For you that's been dating your boyfriend for 25, 30 years, if he died right now, do you think the family gonna fool with you? You think you gonna get anything? No.
But now more so, like you said, with the vows. That's a goal. That's the vision with the vows, right? That's a vision on how we gonna live and work through this marriage. So when tough times get hard, we got to go back to those vows. When we frustrate with each other, we got to go back to those vows. That's the standard that's gonna keep us in line. And even in the Word of God, it says it's better not to make a vow than to make a vow and not keep it. I mean, and even with the spiritual death, she said to death do its part. There's such thing as a spiritual death. You two can be on one accord in the beginning and then start to stray away. And that's some real stuff.
And I think that's why, that was a good point. That's why it's so important that you have tune-ups. You know, you have your talks.
What's a tune-up? What's a tune-up?
I would say you could call it pillow talk at nighttime before you about to go to bed, whatever the case is, and start asking each other, hey, husband, but we call each other husband and wife. You know, in public, I don't like bae and all that. This is husband, I'm wife. So, you know, say to you, hey, husband, you know, what can I do better? You know, is there anything that I need to change or work on? And vice versa. You know, if the house is too much, sometimes you gotta get away. We out here by the water. You know, go somewhere, take a drive, and just have these conversations. And it's important you do this monthly, weekly, and you have to stay connected because, and even like he said, there's a thing called spiritual death, but there's also a thing called growth. Because every year we should be maturing and growing and developing into better versions of ourselves. And that might mean, well, I used to like watching football, but now I don't like watching football because now I'm focused on building these businesses. That's a change. He might be like, well, dang, you act like you too good, but no, that's not the case. I'm trying to grow to build generational wealth. So he has to understand, but that's why we need to have these conversations.
Right.
I'm not saying that's what the case is, but that's just an example.
Right.
you know, and it could be with anything. Somebody might want to go to school and better themselves. Somebody, and then with the two incomes, y'all gonna have to talk about that. Well, you want to go to school, I support you, but this gonna have to cut back until you finish. You know, so you have to have these talks. Don't just hold it all inside, because that's gonna build, and then it's gonna be a big, ugly explosion, and you don't want to have to go through that.
And I think you said earlier that you wasn't on board with the vision. And that's cool to not be on board in the beginning, but you went and talked to God, your personal relationship, and he dealt with you. You know what I'm saying? Reminding you of the different things that you pray for. And I think it's also important that the man have a vision. Have a vision that where she can support. She said, help meet the assignment that's on your life. And she also have an assignment on her life. So once it's a give and take. She help over here, I help over here. I support her dreams, her abilities, and what she want to do, and vice versa. That's how it goes back and forth. It's the energy being exchanged, and that's how you move forward.
And then also, you know, just check out some of these dreams, you know, that your spouse may have, or ideas. You know, don't just shut it down and be like, oh man, that's right. What you gonna do? Where you gonna get $2,000 from? It's gonna come from somewhere, you know. And women, you know, we gotta stop all this nagging and downplaying and down talking, you know, our spouses or even fiancés, and even in front of family and children. You know, we have to start respecting the men. You know, if you don't agree with something, then wait till y'all by yourselves in a different room. You know, I didn't always agree with, you know, the discipline with the boys, but I didn't interrupt in front of the boys, because that's disrespect to him and him being the head of the household. Because if they see that disrespect, then guess what? That disrespect is going to carry on to him from the kids. You know, so, and even in front of family. Sometimes it's good to be quiet, and then you settle your differences behind closed doors. Don't put your business out there in the street. You know, always be respectful to one another. You know, and if that's been happening, it's always going to change. You're going to always change.
So, going back to the commitment thing, it starts with commitment. You got to be committed. Don't go down the aisle, don't go to the justice of peace. You know you're not ready. You want to go out there and play, go out there and play. Don't hurt another female. And females don't hurt another guy. You might be the last shot that he's giving somebody a chance to love. So take that as a sign. You know what I mean? Nourish each other, care for each other, love each other, push each other, become the best. At the end of the day, we all we got. All we got. So we got to make it work. If this don't work, the whole house comes. The whole house comes. So whatever it takes, men, washing dishes, sweeping the floor, whatever it takes. Oh, I don't do that. Oh yeah, you won't do that, friend. You won't do that. It's new season. That means bring out the best in you. Show her a different side so she can fall in love each and every day, more and more. That's it. Yep. That's all I got. Wife, you got anything else?
Yes. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. If you want topics talked about, you need ideas, hey,
Put them down in the comments. Ain't that how they do it? And there might be a link up here somewhere for the last video.
In about 9 days, we'll be celebrating our 6-year wedding anniversary, y'all. 6 years.
Hey, look.
The year
Let me tell you
6.
something. Well, it's been a journey.
6 years.
Nice.
And I can tell you this, when we initially first started dating, we knew we wanted to get married, not right away, but we did talk about that in the beginning stages. His plan was to date for 2 years and then get married, but God had a different plan. And I say that to say because we both been through marriages before. This is my 3rd marriage, and I just wanted to do things differently. I didn't want to cohabitate, and I wanted to do, because you get tired of the same revolving circle. You know, we don't put God first, and it's not going to last. Only
Getting the same results.
Only what you do for Christ will last, and it's just the same thing over and over and over and over again. So I said, God, I want to do something different, and guess what? I didn't listen. We didn't listen, because we started what? Living together and cohabitating. So God was like, no, because y'all didn't pray for this. So that got interrupted. We broke up, for I think 2 or 3 months. And then when we came back together, it was like, okay, we got to do this. So he proposed on Black Friday at the oceanfront, and
with $150 ring.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Actually, it was
$150
this
ring.
one right here.
You understand? And she still got it
Guess
on.
what, y'all? The
Listen.
thing is, I didn't care about the price. He knew I love the color pink. And guess what? It's pink, beautiful ring. I still get compliments about this ring. I still have it on because it's sentimental value. I didn't care. But I got upgraded. So, like I said, it's not about...
Don't rush that. Don't rush. It might be a little hard to see, but don't rush that one.
And I can honestly say that when he go hard, and he go hard because he worked for 21 days straight, y'all. 3rd shift. He came off this ring. 21 days straight. So I love him, you know, because not because he got this ring.
Oh.
But because, you know, he always went hard. He's always been a workhorse. He always showed. You know, whatever he does, puts his mind to. You know, it's kind of funny that we're back out here because, you know, when he proposed to me, we was at the oceanfront, and he said, you know, are you ready to cross that ocean with me? You ready to take this journey for me? It's going to be long. It's going to be hard. You know, I don't know how we're going to get there, but we're going to get there. And it's just crazy that in my spirit today was to come by here back at the water. And we're about to go into year 6. So I would just say, y'all, just be encouraged. If you want to talk, if you got questions, you know, we not no certified counselors, but...
I was going to say that, Chick, not to cut you off. I was going to say that. And we still working on it. I'm not perfect. We're still working on things to better ourselves. There's things I gotta work on, there's things she have to work on. But at the end of the day, we're not pointing at each other. We looking in the mirror and we starting with that person in the mirror. So, you focus on them, and then this will be better. Yeah.
And the email will be in the description box if you want to chat. You know, if y'all interested in having a little group, you know, or a meeting session on Zoom or something like that, then hey. Listen, like I said, we're not certified counselors, but certified counselors, half of them are divorced, and they don't even freaking know, or they don't get it right. But I can tell you that we have great leaders and great pastors and bishops that have poured into us and has told us, and the best experience is going through. You know, you have to learn each other. You have to study each other. In our first year of marriage, we got off of social media, so that distraction wouldn't be there. Understand what I'm saying? So we were able to focus on us to really see, okay, this is a new chapter, a new season, so we can really learn each other as a married couple. Sometimes you got to remove those distractions, you know, single friends and best friends, you know, and it's not a bad negative thing. And if people can't understand, I had a lot of friends, girlfriends, that when we got married, they was gone, you know, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Because this is my best friend right here.
You're my best friend.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're so cute. So the email be in the description box if you want to send an email, chat, question, whatever. And remember, just because it's only been year 1, 2, 3, or you just in the beginning, that don't mean that you don't know anything. Because it's people that's been married 30, 40, 50 years and they don't know each other. They do not know each other. So I just want to say, love y'all. Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. Hit that share button.
Share.
Like.
Yes.
And just to wrap up, commitment, vows, study, live by them, work hard.
And discuss what you want. You want your marriage to be like.
Love y'all.